For those of you who have been to the channel, you've seen me building this room that I'm sitting in now. That's both stereo and Atmos, just specifically a mixing suite. I love this room. I get asked a lot, if you were restarting, what would you get? If you were starting right now, would you still go with speakers? Would you go with headphones? And I tell everybody, if I had been used to getting headphones from the beginning, I wish I would have done that, because you're not locked down. And what set would I go with? It's a daunting rabbit hole that I've just recently gone down, having an intern who doesn't have the ability to have a space with a bunch of speakers. And so we have started that journey with Audeze, with these
Audeze headphones.
Let's talk about it. First of all, from the last conversation we had, I have found a sit-stand desk, so have a seat with me. Huh?
You suck!
So these are the Audeze for our friends up in Canada. Audeze LCD2Cs, planar magnetic headphones. 2 months ago, I would not have been able to tell you what that even means, and probably right now, much the same thing. Planar is different than what I'm used to. I have not gone down the high-end headphone rabbit hole, I'll say that. This is literally my first foray, besides the Focal headphones that I got to try out for a few weeks when they sent them. Did a video on those. I loved them. And this is a whole different world for me. Basically, a thin membrane, magnetically suspended, supposed to be a lot higher detail, a lot more honest, a lot flatter of a response. Although the whole headphone community, there's a lot in like EQ profiles and what people prefer versus what is flat, and it's a whole thing. And then DACs start to get involved. It's a lot. And this video is sponsored by Sweetwater. They did send the LCD2Cs to me to try out, and the Apogee Groove. These two things together, or while I'm here at the studio, the topping, invaluable tool for me now, having a set of headphones like this. Thank you, Sweetwater, for supporting the channel. If you guys want to check it out, there will be a link down below. Back to the video. So Sweetwater sent me the LCD2Cs to try out, and my first thought was, basically because of my intern, I was pointing him in the direction of headphones, but I don't have enough experience to talk about it. And making a video about headphones or speakers is kind of inherently flawed in and of itself. All you're going to get from this is anecdotal stuff and things that I have found to fit into a workflow. That said, these have become a very useful tool for me. Now, do you need this exact set? Maybe not. Maybe from what you're going to find out from the video, you need something far smaller than this. Although, let's get to some numbers here. Of high-end headphones, I would say these are high-end headphones. There's a whole world out there that would scoff at these in high-end headphones, and I'm okay with that. Now, I am never going to be the guy to spend $5,000 on a set of headphones. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. These things are tools. They will fit whatever workflow that you have. If you have a need for that kind of a headphone, you are probably doing serious work. I can't judge. I have far more than that in speakers. And if we are doing this one-to-one, dang, that fan's getting loud. Of high-end headphones, if you sort these just by price, we are not even on the first page. Okay, I'm not gonna be the guy to have crazy high-end headphones. Here we are, second page, $7.99. I would say that's a very expensive set of headphones. The other part that comes along with this, you have to get into DACs. This is where Paul Third helped me immensely. Highly recommend checking out his channel if you have any interest in headphones or just good advice anyway. He pointed me to the topping DAC. It is the DX5II. I have that set up here via USB, and that is my amp for the headphones. The Audis do have a very interesting curve where it kind of feels like there's a slight dip around 5 or 6K and a very gentle roll off in the top end. I'm combating that with this EQ curve. I played with that quite a bit and dialed this in, and now these feel delightfully flat. What I will say, the thing I like about this is that the low end is just spot on. I did not think headphones could sound like this in the low end, and I've actually made low end decisions based on these headphones. So I'm doing very little tuning wise in the low end, but I highly recommend you get something like that. Now, what I will say, I started with this, the Apogee Groove, and this is pretty cool, albeit it's more expensive than the topping, and the topping does a whole lot more. So Paul Third, thank you for the recommendation of the topping. This thing's fantastic. I love it. But if you need something portable, the Groove, the Apogee, it's great. And like I said, it's a whole rabbit hole we've gone down. But did I waste $20,000 in this room? I don't think so. This, to me, are two different pieces of the pie. And what I've found is that headphones can be an incredible second set of glasses for you, for lack of a better term, and me not being able to see, I guess, kind of helps. If we're going to talk build quality, I mean, I don't know how I can speak to other headphones. What I can tell you is I do have normal AirPods, and then the AirPod, or these the Maxes. So my headphone experience really comes from Bluetooth stuff. And honestly, like I'm the farthest thing from an audiophile when it comes to stuff like this. These never bothered me until I got these. Now these bother me. For fun listening, these are great. For consumer listening, these are great. For doing work, these are really helpful. Being able to hear the de-essing on a vocal, like I have done work, and I feel like I could do a lot of work on these headphones, which is a first for me. The only annoying thing, having never owned a set of open back headphones before, at least nothing serious like this, is that they're very loud. They are as loud outside of the headphone as they are inside, and I can demonstrate that. Speakers. Let's stop that before we get a copyright strike. They're loud, but they feel really good. My eyes have been completely open to the possibilities of headphones. If you're wanting to get into the world of headphones, this is not a bad spot. If you want to spend more money, the world is your oyster here. For the home studio, it's really hard to recommend a set of speakers that are less than about $1,000 for the pair that you can do serious work on. That is not the case with something like this. For a really, really good DAC in this set, you could be right around $1,000 and have a far better reference experience. Now, do you need the 2Cs? There's probably something out there that might fit your budget even better. What I like about this, the low end is darn flat. And if you've got a DAC that you can smooth out that top end a little bit, then you can really hear what's going on around 5 and 6K. Even with it off, it's not bad. I wanted a little more because I hear it in my room, and my room is pretty flat. So I noticed not having that here. But the transient response, which I love from the trios that I'm so used to, the transient hitting me still feels like it is here, and I can listen at a low volume and I still get that transient slap. I didn't watch a review until today, and I've been sitting with these for a little while. I'm kind of surprised by some of the headphone community and how picky they can be with certain things that I kind of think are silly. Please don't take that the wrong way. I see these things very much as a tool. I'm not mad that the earpieces are not actual leather. I'm not upset that the casing is not wood. I kind of like that it's metal. If it's affecting the sound, it's affecting the sound. It's not bothering me. In this session, and this song is coming out relatively soon, so stay tuned for that. I was kind of struggling with the kick drum and the vocal. The headphones are really helping me out here. The room, I feel like as I get a little more tired, I start to push the volume in the room, which doesn't help anything. That is a discipline thing. But I trust what's happening in the headphones, and it kind of resets me a little bit. So having a tool like that, I have really, really come to lean on. With a headphone like this or anything, if you're going to start that road, don't go with the biggest, baddest thing. I don't think that is anybody's necessity to spend a bonkers amount of money on some headphones. Now, to some people, $7.99 is a bonkers amount. I feel like these are for the working individual, either as a really solid second in a monitor decision, Or honestly, like, I could probably recommend these to my intern to be his first really good set with a modest DAC, with something like the Groove. This whole thing fits in the awesome flight case that they send you. And now you're completely portable with your monitoring setup. And that's why I say I wish I would have started with headphones. It's a little difficult for me now, having so many years under my belt with speakers. But if I was restarting, my gosh, I don't know that there was something this good that we could get this affordable. Just plugging in a small DAC via USB and something like this, and you could do some serious work. Like, the world is changing like crazy. Are there cheaper headphones you could get that you prefer? Yeah, maybe. The thing about headphones is these are very personal. So my decision in this is probably going to be different than what you're going to like out of a headphone. The things that I look for and the things that I find here are a very fast transient, honesty in the low end. I have a sense of space. I don't feel like it's right up against me. It actually, in some cases, I would check that my speakers were off because I could feel reverb tails and I was perceiving it in different parts around the room. So separation is here. All that comes from having a decent DAC, and you don't have to spend a crazy amount of money to get a decent DAC. I promise you. Check out Groove, check out Topping, go listen to Paul Third. He's got the whole thing on lock, man. If you do want to check these out, go to Sweetwater, Audeze, Audeze. I'm really sorry, guys. The LCD2Cs, I have found a very good use case for them in my workspace. And if you have a use case like that, I really recommend you do your own research and figure out what your needs are. Audeze. I say Audeze. I don't know if that's correct. Oh, jeez. If you guys like this video, go check out this one down there where we talk about a different set of headphones, completely different style, closed back, different company, get you a nice, well-rounded opinion on the whole thing. Okay, bye.